Hi everybody. I wanted to take a moment to show you guys what an example resource notebook looks like, because a lot of you have said you'd like to see it but you can't get on campus, so wanted to give you an idea. So here's one of them. It opens and starts out with forms. So it's got all the main parts. So it's got the initial verification. It's got the timesheets. It's got the parent guardian signature. It's got the setting observation done. And then we start with the developmental domain. So section B is physical. So with every domain, the same thing will be included. It'll be 5 anecdotal records, a structural observation, a checklist, a visual documentation, and a summary. So the physical one, you can see the anecdotal record is written, typed neatly. They are coded by color, and there is a key to show what domain is in what color. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then comes the checklist. So this is the checklist is done from milestones of child development. You can see the strands are both on here, gross and fine motor, and they are checked off as the child developed. And the third strand is on the back, health and well-being. So if you look in milestones, you will see gross motor, fine motor, and health and well-being, and these are all for this child's age time. And then there's a structured observation. There is the visual documentation. You can see it actually talks, there's a caption that says what the child is doing. It talks about her gross motor development while she's climbing. And then there is the summary report. And this is a good example as to about how long it should be. A couple paragraphs. Because keep in mind it is talking about fine and gross motor and her health and well-being. So you say there's her fine motor. Her gross motor is talked about right here. And then the next section, so section C is cognitive. You'll see it's the same exact thing as before, but this has to do with cognitive domain. There's 5 coded anecdotal records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is the developmental checklist that has all of the strands in here. So we've got some math, measurement, patterns and relationships. This was a really long one. I don't expect yours to be this long. You only need 10, but she definitely covered, the student covered all of the different strands in math, science, and social studies, which is cognitive. There's a structured observation. Visual documentation with the caption that says what they're doing and what domain and strand they're learning, and a summary report. And then we go to social. So I'm not going through every domain because it's the same thing. It's 5 anecdotal records, 1 checklist, 1 structured observation, 1 visual documentation, and 1 summary report. So I'm going to go to the back, to background information. Maybe. So background information. Is going to include the parent questionnaire that was originally done, the empty one. can see the parent questionnaire has 3 questions for each developmental domain, at least. And then there is the actual filled out parent questionnaire. So the same thing, but the parent has filled it out now. And that is it. The student also chose to put a copy of their developmental child case study in here, so you can get an idea about the length of it to answer all the questions. You notice some theories here. And all of the summary reports that are copied and pasted in here. All right, and that's it. So hopefully that helps you get an idea of what the expectation for the early childhood resource notebook is. All right, if you have any questions, let me know.